Guys, what's happening? Hope you're good. As you'll have read from the title and as you can see down here, today I've been sent out this projector to review, show you guys, let you know what I think of it. It's an ABOX and the model is a T22. Now you might have been subscribed to the channel for a while or you might be new and just passing, but I have done video unboxings of these in the past. Unfortunately, I didn't really go in depth. Today, that is the sole purpose of this video. I'm going to go more into depth, explain things for people that are interested in purchasing one of these, or if you're just curious how it works and stuff. So these low budget ones, or these cheap projectors I should say, they're a little bit misleading on the title because loads of them say 1080p. Now you're probably thinking, does this mean for less than £100 I'm getting a full HD 1080p projector? No, it doesn't. If you want one of them, you're looking between 500, 1000, maybe even £2,000. Now these, the native resolution is 800 by 480. You're probably thinking, what does that mean? It's about 360p, 480p. It's not fantastic quality, but it's fine. I've got no complaints. I was that impressed, I've actually ordered myself a full HD Optima, which I will be doing an unboxing. I'll show you the difference when I do get them on comparison. Now, you're probably thinking, well, why does it say 1080p? The 1080p bit means it supports 1080p. If you've got a film on a memory stick, a hard drive, or a memory card, you can plug it into this and it will play it onto your wall or your screen, whatever you're using, but it won't native 1080p. If the film is 1080p, it won't put the resolution as 1080p. It'll just be your 800 by your 480. Like I say, don't get us wrong, the picture quality is still fine, but there's other factors: distance, size, and your eyesight. First off, we'll start with your eyesight. How good is your eyes? If your eyes are really good and you're really close, you'll obviously see the pixels, but if your eyesight's not very good, you won't even notice it. If your eyesight is really good, I'd suggest you sit further back or shrink the screen size, put it down. This does go to 130 inches, but 130 inches is absolutely massive. I don't even think my wall does 130 inches. I wouldn't want to go there. If I had to say a sweet spot, I'd probably say between 60 and 90 inches. That would be a probably good sweet spot. I know for a 55-inch telly, viewing distance is, I think, between 8 foot and 12 foot. So for 90 inches, I don't know what it would work out, but it doesn't really matter. You can sit as close as you want, but as long as the picture quality isn't really bad. Now another thing you've got is lumens. Basically what that means, if you've got a bright room, you want high lumens, and if you've got a dark room, you just want low lumens. You've got contrast ratio. What the contrast ratio means is your blacks, your whites, and your colours. So the higher that, the better. Picture, not resolution, just picture as in a vivid picture. This one is 2000 lumens, so it's the highest one I've had. Before that it was 1500. Some of them are just 1000. But still, through the day, it's not really very good. Nighttime, that's its party piece. It's best to use on a nighttime. It's got a twin speaker, so the sound is good, but it's not fantastic. You're better off getting a full surround sound, or even a sound bar. That would be fantastic. That's pretty much everything. I'm going to do the unboxing, as I always do. I'll show you what you get inside the box, and then I'm going to do a little comparison. I did do a video on this ages ago, I think it was last year. It's fantastic, this. I love it. It's so small, I can take it where I want. It's a little tiny portable projector. I'm going to put the same film on this and show you the difference. Luckily, I've already played about with this, and this is the best projector that I've actually used so far. For the money, thumbs up from me, 10 out of 10. Or actually, we'll say 9 out of 10 because the fan is quite loud. But I'm going to get to the unboxing, and I'll see you next. Looking around the box, you can see we've got the projector on the front. We've got up here LED projector, and we've got some sort of rainbow effect going across. On the right hand side here, we've just got a little bit of the spec saying it's LED. You've got your resolution, your aspect ratio, 30,000 hours of lamp life, which is forever. It's saying here it's got 2 speakers. This must be the distance that you can put the projector from the wall, so it'll be 1 meter to 3.6 meter, and that'll be the size. I thought it went to 130 inches, but it only maxes out to 120. If we spin it to the other side, it's telling you the weight, which is 1.75 kilograms, and this is the actual box size, not the size of the projector. And here's telling you what you get inside. So you get the projector, user manual, power cord, remote, and 3-in-1 AV cable. Down here we've just got it that it's made in China. There's nothing on the bottom of it, it's just blank. And on the top we've just got Gubang UK, and it's a T22 and ABOX, and we've got the nice little carry handle. So to open it, I'm just going to slide this across and take this out.
flip that over, move the box out the way, and we'll take the lid off. And first off, we'll dive in here. So you've got the remote, which I'll take out the bag for you. It's just a standard infrared remote, and you don't get any batteries with it, so I'll just show you inside there. You never get any batteries with anything. The remote, I would have preferred more buttons on it, but it does do the job of what it does, which is your settings, your back, your volume, your mute, and that's just to get you round and on, your on and off. That one's just for your source, so that's the remote. I mean, it's nice and easy. I would have just preferred more buttons. You've got an HDMI lead, which is always good to have. You've got your power lead, which is that sort of little lead with the two little thingies on the bottom, and that's just a protector for that, which we'll put back on. And this adjusts the height of the projector if you want it up or down on the leveling, and that is your AV cable. And then that there is just a little certificate, so put that back in there. And your user manual is this little guy. Quite a few pages on this, but to be honest, you don't really need that. And if we take the projector out, I'm going to move everything out the way so you can have a good look. Where will we start? I'll tell you what, we'll start on the front. So on the front, obviously you've got the lens, and to get the lens off, the easiest way I find is where this little bit goes on here. Just put your finger in and that'll pop straight off. On the top, you've got this one to zoom in and out of the screen for your focus, and this one is for your keystone correction. So if I move this, you'll see the lens comes out. So that's obviously how far or how close you are, just to get the focus right, and then always put that back on when you're not using it. On this side, you've got I'm going to adjust the camera 2 seconds. Up on the top here, this one's for your memory card, and the one below is for some earphones or a speaker if you want to plug them in. This one's for your AV. You've got VGA if you want to plug it into a PC. You've got USB, and you've got your HDMI. You've got a couple of vents on the side, and on the back you've got another vent. If you go to this side, you've got another vent again, just to keep it cool, and this one is obviously to power it. Underneath, these are obviously for your speakers, and this little hole here is to put this little guy in here, like I say, to adjust the level how you want it. So if I've got that there, I can adjust it so I can have it lower or higher, whatever you like. So put that all the way in, it goes flush so it's not sticking out, and that's pretty much everything on the bottom. There, that's everything. And on the top, the buttons, we've got up, down, left, right, we've got OK, we've got your power button, and you've got for your settings, and you've got your back button. I can't remember what that one does. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I never use this. I just use the remote, because everything does what this does anyways. And you've got ABOX and LED projector, and that's everything. It's a nice smooth finish on it, and it looks nice, and it's not heavy at all. It's really light, to be honest, and that's what it all looks like. I'm finally set up. As you can see, I've got the main projector on top of an ironing board, and I've got my little Aeodyne on a tripod. I've got a memory stick plugged in both of them with the same file on, which is this image here of a nice lovely wallpaper or background. The light's on at the moment. I'm going to turn that off. As you can see, it's on, and you'll see the difference. The top one does look a lot brighter than the bottom one. I think the camera is over exaggerating how bright it is. It's actually not as bright as it looks through the camera. If I go into the settings though, obviously I can change that. At the moment I'm on user, so if I press right, I've got dynamic. You can see the image change straight away, and then I'm back to user. The image size is 72 inch. That's as big as I could get for both of them being side by side. And if we get a little bit closer, I can show you the picture quality on both of them. But if you bear with us a second, I'm going to put a film on, or a movie I should say, and show you what they both run like side by side. You'll all be familiar with this film, which is The Lion King, and this is a really good scene to show you what I meant by the brightness and the dark. They're in a cave at the moment, and if you look at the bottom one, how dark it is, but if you wait a second, you'll see the rocks in the background on the top one, but you won't see them on the bottom one. There, that's what I mean. The bottom one is really dark, and the top one you can see all the detail. If I go really close, and I mean really close, I'm literally an inch away or something, you might be able to see some pixels, but that's the only way you're going to see the pixels. If you move further back, I think at the moment I'm about probably 10 foot away, but it looks fine. It looks awesome, in fact. The bottom one, like I say, I can't believe how dark it looks. For 72 inch though, this looks fine. I'd be really happy with this. I know some people say the bigger the better, but not necessarily. It looks really good at the moment. So if you bear with us a second, I'm just going to use the top one on its own. I'm going to try and stretch to maybe 90 or 100 inches and show you what the picture quality looks like on there and show you some of the settings. I'm not sure if you can tell already, but I've made the screen rather big. It's 104 inches and the projector from the wall is roughly 11 foot. Now I'm going to show you now how you measure the screen size, because some people are measuring it across. You measure it diagonal, so you go from top left to bottom right. I'm going to stand next to the screen now so you get an idea of how big it is at the moment and point in them directions. Now, last but not least, all I've got to do is just pretty much show you what's out the box. So when you first turn it on, this is what it looks like. This is the home page that you'll be greeted by. You've got obviously movies, music and photos, so depending on what you're using it for. In my case, obviously I watch loads of movies, so I'd click the movie one, and then it offers you devices what are plugged in, what you can watch stuff off. If I come back and go down to this one that says source, and you've got a few different options, which is your USB, your AV, RGB, HDMI and your memory card. So whichever one you want, you just click on that. In the bottom right hand corner, you've got your settings, but you can just press the button on the remote to get your settings up. Text is obviously Word document, but it's a thing that I'd never use. It's probably just for presentations and stuff like that. If you go into the movie one and you click on Lexar, which I've got my memory stick plugged in, and we'll come down to the bottom one, which is the Lion King, and it'll start playing it pretty much straight away. And if I press right, which is 2 times, press it again 4 times, 8 times, 16 times and 32, and that's as fast as it goes. And then if you press it again, it'll play it. So I'm going to pause it, and as you can see on the bottom there, we've got fast forward and rewind. You've got ones to skip your chapters forward and back. You've got the stop button, and you've got this one which will repeat the film once it's finished. If you go further along, you've got the information. So if you've got 2 different audio files on here, if you've got German and English and you want to swap between them, you can just press left and right. Or if you want to turn your subtitles on, it tells you on the bottom how big the file is. In my case, it's 10.5 gig, and the resolution, obviously, it's 1080p. So I'll press back and go along here. You've got slow, you've got step, you've got go to, you've got zoom in and zoom out of the picture. Aspect ratio just means for your 4:3, 16:9 in your auto, which I'll click now and show you. That is 4:3, which is sort of a square, but not quite. Press it again, 16:9, and press it again, you've got auto. If you press right, you've got view, and that's pretty much everything. If you press the settings button, you've got picture mode, and you've got user, dynamic, standard and mild. If you go back to user, if you do buy one of these, I suggest if you buy one of these, this is roughly what you set it up to be, because out the box it's pretty dark. So these are my presets if you want to copy them. If you go to this one, which is your projector mode, this is just in case you've got the projector on a ceiling. So if I press it, that's upside down, and it'll just go back to the normal. If you go to color temperature, you've got medium, warm, user, cool, and I'll put it back to medium, so you can set that up to whatever you wish. Aspect ratio is, we've just been over that, and noise reduction is a thing that I'm not going to touch. If you press right, you've got your EQ, which is your equalizer, and the bottom one is a surround sound, but unfortunately it's only got 2 speakers, so it's not a true surround sound. If you press right again, you can set the time, so if you want an auto turn off, or an auto shutdown I should say, and you've got a sleep timer, so you can set that up. If you're watching a film that's on for say 2 hours and you don't know if you're going to last the 2 hours, you can set it for an hour and it'll just turn itself off to save the battery life of the lamp. If you press right again, you've got on-screen display language, so depending on what language you speak, you can set that up. And you've got obviously to update the software. This will have to be done via a USB, and it'll probably be done off the website. The bottom one is to reset all where the weight came out of the box. This will just reset all that up. And that's pretty much everything. If you press back again, obviously it'll just put you back to the film. And if you get stuck with anything, as always, just drop us a message and I'll get straight back to you. But out of all the projectors that I've used, this one is my favourite at the moment. I've given it a 9 out of 10 because the fan is still quite loud, but it's not overly loud. But yeah, thank you for watching.